Preparing and packing for a flight can be daunting, but there's a few tips and tricks to maximize your experience while keeping potential expenses to a minimum. Barry Choi is a Toronto-based finance and travel expert who shares his knowledge about travel planning. He offers advice on a variety of topics on his website, Money We Have. Before purchasing a ticket, there's a few things to consider.
In general, a lot of people are traveling more. We already saw it last year. We're seeing record numbers. This year, we're already seeing record projections as far as airfare is concerned. A lot of cities have also recovered. Some cities are doing in record numbers. But overall, what I'm getting at is the demand is absolutely insane. And when you factor in inflation, which we're seeing all over the world, the cost to travel has gone up significantly. You got to start at the basics and look at your budget more than anything else. Can you afford to travel? Or if you want to travel, do you need to set aside some money every single month to accomplish those goals? You just really got to do your research and check each individual destination to give yourself a rough idea of how much things are going to cost you. We talked about airfare and how there's been record demand for it. So as a result, you know, that flight that used to cost you $900 return might be $2,000 return now. So it's just one of those things where you really need to factor in those costs and budget appropriately. My number one tip is to try to book as early as possible. And I know this is easier said than done, but if you can book 10 to 12 months in advance, you're typically going to see the best offer. And people are like, well, I can't plan that far ahead. But, you know, I'm just telling you, this is typically when you're going to find the cheapest prices, especially if you're using loyalty points.
Another way to save some money is traveling with carry-on only.
You know, I've gone carry-on only in the last 5 years, even before the pandemic, just because it's easier and makes you a smarter traveler. There's less things to worry about. You just got to factor in a laundry day. That said, if you're traveling with family, especially with kids, you might not have a choice but to check bags. In some cases, it might make sense to get a credit card that gives you free checked bags. For example, with the Aeroplan credit cards, if you have a mid-tier credit card, it's about $139 a year for the card. But you get free checked luggage, your first bag free for up to 8 people on the same itinerary. Well, if typically luggage is costing you $25 to $50 each way and you're a family of 4, you know, one trip, you've already made the money back. But I've gone on, 12-day trips with carry-on only. And generally speaking, what I tell people is, regardless of how long your trip is especially 2 weeks, is like, you only really need 6 days of clothing, right? To kind of do anything. And then on that 6th day, you just budget laundry time. And laundry these days is so easy. You can just pay someone to wash it and dry everything for you. Just pick it up later, right? A lot of hotels have it. So it's very, very simple. But the second trick is the fact that you get one carry-on and one personal item. And a personal item is like a backpack or a purse or a laptop. So obviously I'm bringing my biggest backpack possible that fits my laptop, all my personal items. My wife does the same thing. She puts her purse in the backpack. So like when you think about the personal item backpack plus the suitcase carry-on, you've pretty much got enough room as like a full checked bag. It's the only thing you don't have access to is giant size toiletries. So if you need a giant shampoo for whatever reason, you have to bring it. I guess you got to pay to check bag, but I'm pretty sure buying shampoo underground will cost you less than paying for that checked bag.
For more travel hacking ideas, visit moneywehave.com. Carla Fitzsimmons, Your Region This Week, Kitchener.